So following on from the previous video, we got to this stage here. We got to this stage here. So now we need to tidy this up, tidy these three up. So if you look at this, vector here, if you have a vector, let's say v here is 1, 2, 3. So if you want to know the magnitude, which we do here, if you want to know the magnitude, it would be the square root 1 plus 4 plus 9. And we've done this many times, so you should be able to work out the magnitude of this. So this here would be your magnitude, and then you've got to square it. So if you have a vector, so v, the magnitude squared would be given by the magnitude here, and then you square it. So you notice that there's a square root in the magnitude. So when you have a square root and then you square it, then all that's left will be this. So this whole thing here will simply be this, and then this thing here, the whole thing here will simply be this. Okay, and now we need to look at this, because remember W would be you traveling from here to here. That would mean you moving backwards in the U direction. So that would be this, and then plus B. Well, W will be given by this. So hang on. So if the vector, so remember W is given by this thing here. So you've got to go backwards here, and then in the V direction. So that's the same as V, and then minus U. So traveling from here to here, the vector for W here would be given by this. So the x component would be this, the y component would be this, and the z component would be this. Well, think about it. The vector that would take you from here to here will be given by this. Remember, we are trying to work out this thing here, and then later on we're going to square it. So the vector w will be given by this. So the magnitude of that vector will be us squaring this, squaring it, and then take the square root of the whole thing. So the magnitude would be this. The whole thing would be this. But then here's the thing: we need the magnitude squared. So we've got to square it. So we've got to square it. Well, square root and then squaring it, the two will cancel each other out, leaving you with this. So now multiply this out. This squared will be this whole thing here, and then so that's this thing here, and then this thing here squared will be this whole thing here, and then square this. That will then give you this. Okay. So going back to here, going back to this bit here. We know this. That's this bit here. We know this. That's this bit here. And then we've got to take away this thing here. Remember, this thing here is this whole thing here. Okay. So going back to here, this plus this, take away this, would then give you this. Would then give you this. Okay. So this thing would be this. This thing would be this, and then you've got to take away the whole thing here. Okay, so remember it's minus. So you've got to do this. So this will become a positive, negative, positive, and so on, because you've now tidy up this whole thing. So this thing, now don't forget it's going to be negative there. So these two will cancel out. And then this thing here would get cancelled out with let's do it. Let's start again. Sorry. Look, this thing here will cancel out with this. So these two will cancel each other out. And then this thing here would cancel out with this thing here. So these two will cancel out. And then you've got this times this, so this will become a negative sorry, hang on, I missed that one. I've missed out this one. So let's go back one step. Bear with me. bear with me, bear with me. So bear with me. So this thing times this, that will then cancel out with this. Okay, and then this times this, that will then cancel out with this, and then this with the V3 here, this thing here will cancel out with this, and then the last one will cancel out with this. So all that you're left with is this thing here, and this thing here. So remember, it's hang on, let me clear this. So all that you're left with would be this thing, and this thing. So now minus and a minus, that will give you positive. So that will then give you a positive. This, and then you've got another minus here. That will then give you a positive, and then this will then, well, blah blah. This whole thing here will then take you to here. Okay, so now divide everything by 2. So that will then give you this. So now now bear with me. So that will then give you this. So now whenever you want to compute the angle, which was our sole aim right from the start, our aim was to work out the angle given 2 vectors. This was our aim all along, was to work out this angle. You see, in order for you to work out the angle, you would need to compute this thing here. Well, computing this thing here is like you getting this times this, that will then give you this. This times this, that will then give you this. This times this, that will then give you this. So in order for you to work out the angle, you always need to compute this from 2 given vectors. You always need to do this. Well, if you always need to do this, let's assign this thing a name. Let's assign it a name, because we know we're going to use it again and again and again. So let's just assign this a name. Well, the name that we're going to assign it is v dot u. So this is our dot product. So this is our dot product. We defined this right from the start of the previous video. Because we are trying to work out this angle, and we know that when given 2 vectors, we always need to compute this thing here. So let's just assign it a name. Let's call it the dot product, and then so that name there is given by this thing here. So this thing is this thing here. So let's assign this a name. Let's assign it this thing here, the dot product. So this is exactly the same as this. So these two are the same. So whenever you want to know the angle, compute the dot product and then divide it by the magnitude of one vector, and then divide it by the magnitude of the other vector. So that will then take you to here. And then if you want to know the angle, then inverse cosine to both sides. That will then give you this. Okay.